you already know how I am. Like, I'm very much about building. You know, like, I'm a huge fan of the Philly scene. I've been a big fan of the Philly scene for a while as, you know, rappers and as battlers, you know.
Yeah, we gonna get this shit popping.
Like, you know, everybody needs to get represented. You know, I mean, I go back, you know, I can shout out, you know, Schoolie D, Steady B, Cool C, you know, cats like that too. So
Yeah, you already know. So we gonna get it popping, man. The Gunline Battlegrounds, you know what I mean, and the whole grind time situation. Let's get it cracking. But without further
I
ado,
definitely want to come out there soon enough.
Before we closed out on the other side, before we got into the music, you told me that don't nobody want it with Kap Kallous in the state of Florida. You said you hold it down. You said if you enter the state of Florida, if you visit there, you know, if you might battle somebody on the guest ticket or something, they don't want it with you. Speak to the people about that. They don't want it with you.
I mean, I think, you know, I'm doing my fucking thing out here. Simple as said, you know what I mean?
So wait a minute. So what you're telling me here is that don't nobody want it with Kap Kallous in the state of Florida, period.
I'm sure there's people who would like to battle me because they'd get famous off it. Right. But like, outside of that, like, you know, I mean, anyone out here in Florida that would be worth me battling is my people's anyways.
So
you know what I mean? Like,
so Conceited don't want it with Kap Kallous.
Oh, Conceited would never battle me.
So Conceited,
that's my homie though. Like, that's my homie. But Conceited knows, like, yo, I have like one of the driest, most fucked up sense of humors ever. Conceited has been around me when I'm just in joke mode and shit. You know what I mean? But Conceited would get nothing out of battling me. Plus, he's technically a New York rapper anyway.
We ask everybody that visit the Gunline Battleground radio show each and every Thursday from 10 to 1 here on PC Radio.
Yep.
What's the difference between URL and Grind Time in your eyes?
In my eyes, the difference between URL and Grind Time is... I'm trying to break this down in the most, like...
No, keep it real, my nigga. I want you to really keep it real.
No, not about being real. It has nothing to do with being real. I keep it real 100%, especially with y'all all the time. I'm thinking about, like, the best way to explain it so people know where I'm coming from is, like, all right, I'd say, like, URL is what it was. You know what I mean? Like, all right, when you take it down, like, I'm a huge Smack fan. I was a big fan of Smack battles in general. You know what I mean? And I think, honestly... to change the name to URL, like, was unnecessary. If anything, they might have lost a little bit of fans because people don't know what URL is. Now, a lot of people look at URL as like the street battle league, and Grind Time is the nerdy battle league. But at the end of the day, that's not the case. We are just more accepting of everybody. You know what I mean? Like, if you're a dope MC, we're going to give you a chance. And I feel like, you know, URL is like, you know, they fuck with people who are legendary street cats, like the Head Ices, the Math Hoffas, the A-Verbs, you know what I mean? Like, people like that, they're very, very selective, and we're willing to give people chances. Now, granted, you know, URL has just recently noticed that, you know, it's hard when you only have a small amount of people to select from, that you got to start doing tryouts. You got to start expanding. You know, I know they just locked down a Texas league. I know they're working on a West Coast league. You know what I mean? Like, the thing is that, like, I will fully say that, like, you know, like, Smack, we were all fans of Smack before there was even Grind Time. If you're a battlehead, you're going to have mad love for Smack. You know what I mean? But then, you know, I think Grind Time kind of changed the face of the game, and they're in a way, they're playing catch-up. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think it's beautiful. Like, you know, I love having competition. I think the battles that they're putting out, you know, like, some of the battles are incredible. You know, like, I loved, like, the A-Verb versus Math battle. Amazing battle. I thought it was incredible. I love that battle. You know, I mean, some of the battles, you know, I don't think are incredible. You know what I mean? But, you know, Grind Time's guilty of the same thing. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it is what it is. When you buy a fresh box of cereal, sometimes the bottom of the box gets stale by the time you get done with it. You know, but you got to give everyone a chance. You know, but the main difference between Grind Time and URL, that's really up to the fans. I mean, a battle's a battle. Right. You know what I mean? Do you think, like, the difference between the events our events look like they're a lot more fun. I can tell you that much right now.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? You go to a grind time event and you're gonna have fun. You're gonna smoke some weed. You're probably gonna meet some, you might meet a chick out there depending on what division you're in. You're gonna network with some people. Someone's gonna buy your album. People are gonna show you love. Blah blah blah. From what I've seen from the URL events and and from folks I know who go to them on a regular basis, that cats are kind of like, they've got, it's the street league, so obviously cats are kind of on guard, you know what I mean, instead of enjoying themselves, you know what I mean, and if you have to be like kind of on guard and watching the mother next to you,
niggas watching the next man over their collar, niggas watching
exactly. You're probably not going to enjoy yourself, there's nothing wrong with that.
So what you're saying, so what you're saying to me is URL don't want it with grind time.
Is that what I said? That's verbatim what I said, right? No, that's not what I'm saying. I honestly, I'll put it like this. Grind time want it with URL. I'd love to combine grind time and URL.
So listen, Cat. So basically, this is the Gunline Battlegrounds show.
We gonna bridge that gap.
And you know what? And since it's all about the battle scene and the battleground and the
right, I'm pro culture. I'm pro building. I'm not gonna knock anyone. Like every time y'all talk to me on the phone, I've always said like I got love for what they do, but I see flaws in both systems. I think grind time and URL both have their own flaws.
Believe that.
Yeah.
But as a battle MC yourself, as one that gets down and dirty yourself, you saying that they don't fucking want it with Kap Kallous and grind time now.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I think you're putting words in my mouth. to be totally honest with you, I think like if you want to know what I'm saying, listen to what I'm saying. Like what I'm saying is, I think both divisions have very, very talented cats. If you put the top 10 cats in URL that are solely, see, the thing is, also there's not that many URL cats that are solely URL battlers.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, that's the whole thing. Like, you're talking about two companies or you're talking about MCs. Because 80% of the MCs that battle in URL have either battled in grind time or came from grind time before they even battled in URL.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That was the next thing I was going to say. Like, what do you think about...
Y'all trying to put words in my mouth and trying to make me seem like a person that I'm not.
No, man, we just fucking with you. We just fucking with you around here.
With you back. Come on, bro. You know who it is. Like,
we just fucking with you around here, man. We juggernauts around here, man. That's what we do.
Oh, that's how it should be, man. You gotta have tough skin in this business.
Oh,
Trust me, I'm not complaining. I'm enjoying it.
And we just throw around a little bit of fun in here and there. You know what I'm saying? Around here.
Nah, it's all fun to me. I'll put it like this. Like, when I do chop it off with anyone from URL, it's always love. You know what I mean? And I always tell them, I'm like, y'all are doing your thing.
Yeah,
I'd love
shout out to Smack, shout out to Chico Beasley and everybody over there,
what up,
man.
Beasley?
Definitely, man.
Yeah, they're definitely
us, man.
From what I hear, their next event's gonna be crazy. You know what I mean?
So with that being said, like, how do you feel like about those battles when they go down between, quote unquote, the URL versus the grind time?
I think those battles are great. I think a clash of styles is incredible. But I'll put it like this. I think Awkward's is just as street and or tough as T-Rex.
That leads me into my next question to you. What's some of the most noted battles? What's your top 5 battles, past, present, and maybe I would say what you predict for the future that you would say are your favorite? Your most noted battles, as well as what you're anticipating coming up next.